Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Spooky Japan Podcast. Hoping everyone is doing well today. It's a little bit chilly here in Japan. Just gonna get worse that time of year. How you
Hmm.
doing over there in Tokyo, Irene?
Not bad, not bad. Just kind of freezing.
It's a little bit chilly here, yeah.
Yeah.
Today we have a very special guest with us, Eric. How you doing, Eric? You said it's nice and warm in Florida.
Konnichiwa. Did I pronounce that right?
Yep.
It's a cool 80 degrees in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I'm cold because my air conditioning is on high. It's been down low.
Yeah,
So for
the
our listeners out there who may not know who you are, how would you introduce yourself and how did your journey into the paranormal begin?
Sure. So my name is Eric Vanderlaan. I'm the team leader of War Party Paranormal. Um, we also have a podcast as well, War Party Paranormal Radio Show. And also, my partner and I, Mike Del Coro, produce a show on ParaFlixx. It's a paranormal streaming network. And the series is called The Haunted Files. And me getting into the paranormal, I went into this as a skeptic. I'm pretty old, so like when Ghost Hunters first came out, that was like my favorite show, and I was just very intrigued. And I live in Florida, so we got like one of the haunted cities or two haunted cities in the U.S. We have St. Augustine, Florida, and Key West. So like I would dabble and stuff. And then I eventually joined the paranormal team, and then ended up with the War Party. What opened my mind, started opening my mind to the paranormals when I joined the War Party. Back then, I was more into the equipment, and they taught me like how to feel the place and try to get the vibe for it. And I started opening my mind more, and I noticed that in certain ways I'm sort of gifted, but maybe not. I don't know. But I just follow my gut feelings, and things start happening, and that's how I approach my investigations.
Where has been your favorite place to investigate so far?
Oh my gosh. My favorite place would be, it's now demolished, would be the Belglade Correctional Facility, just west of West Palm Beach, out in the middle of sugar canes, in the middle of nowhere. Super, super active.
Have you been to I know you mentioned St. Augustine down there. Have you been to the old? I forgot the name of it. The old fort down there.
Yeah, I got some crazy stuff there. I got a pretty good story about that. Castillo de San Marcos,
Yes, that's what it is.
the
I couldn't
Spanish
remember.
fort. Yep, it's been there since like what, the like early 1500s. It's been there forever. Um, Seen a lot of death, a lot of bloodshed there. But I got an interesting story. So when COVID first hit, like a few years back, just before that, our family had rented a Airbnb on the beach in St. Augustine.
Hmm.
So, no one was allowed to go out. Restaurants were closed. All the businesses were closed. You had to wear a mask. So, we got tired of that after a while. So we decided, okay, we're going to take advantage of the beach house and spend some time on the beach. And I'm thinking, you know what? I'm going to go to St. Augustine. And I just wandered around. Nobody on the street, and it'll probably never happen again. You could hear like a pin drop. It was so quiet. And I was at the executioner's wall. It was like probably like 1 a.m. at the Castillo de San Marcos, the old Spanish fort. And this is where they used to execute people. And there's cannonballs on the side of the walls, and there's bullet holes. So I'm doing an EVP session, and I got a data logger, and I stick the data logger in one of the cannon holes. And the data logger can do a lot of different things. And one of the things it can do is sense vibration. And the weirdest thing is that it was picking up strong vibration in that cannon hole. I don't know if it was something that was residual or crazy, but I got a wild EVP like during that session as well, relating to someone getting executed and shot there.
That's really interesting. Yeah, I've heard the ghost stories about that place.
Yeah, it's very active. I mean, that was the craziest thing I got there. You could just walk around town and you might see something. You never know.
just with that fort, it's made out of limestone. It's one of only two forts still made with limestone, so that's why they think it's also.
Yeah, they call it coquina. It's actually the coral crushed up, and they used to make that as the cement. So no one could ever shoot down or blow up the fort because whenever the French or the British or whoever was attacking them was shooting cannonballs at them on the ships, the coquina would absorb it like a sponge.
Mm.
So the cannonball would hit, nothing would happen. It would just absorb it, and they would fill it again with coquina. So who knows how many cannonballs are stuck in those walls?
Mm.
That's crazy. Yeah, the you've heard a ghost story about that place, right?
Yeah, there's several. Supposedly, the most famous one is Chief Osceola, one of the chief Indians from the Seminole tribe during the Seminole Indian War. They had captured him, and when they captured him, they decapitated him.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe the general kept his head there. I don't know the whole story, but supposedly his head floats around, the walls above the fort.
That's crazy. Yeah, some people also say that you could hear a woman and smell her perfume. It's one of the old general, his wife.
Oh yeah, I think her name was Josefina, maybe. She was the one that was having an affair with the general's like captain or one of his
Yeah.
officers. Well, I got an interesting thing that happened. So supposedly they were locked up in one of these like chambers down inside the fort, and it's all coquina rocks. The cement's all stone. And when he got caught, the general took his wife and the guy that she was having an affair with, and then locked them up in that chamber and cement the walls and shackled them, and they were left there to die. So we went in there and we were getting EVPs, but I was getting EVPs of like, I asked the question, do you hablas español or hablas francés? And I got clear as day francés. So supposedly some French soldiers were locked up there too.
Mm.
Yeah, it was he smelled the perfume on his captain. That's how he knew.
Yeah.
And that's when he caught them. He told everyone that his wife visited family in Spain. That's why she's gone. And he told everyone the captain was reassigned to Cuba. So that's why he's gone. And of course, everyone's like, well, this is weird. No one said goodbye. They just left. But at the time, with how long ago that was, you really couldn't confirm it.
Right.
So that's why. And then years later, someone was exploring that place, and he said because he was very into architecture, so he was very curious about it. He said there was one wall that just, for some odd reason, did not look like it belonged.
Uh-huh.
So he drilled a hole. Sure enough, that's where he found their skeletons.
Yeah. Like right now, you can go in there. You have to crawl like into a hole and get into it, but they let you go back in there.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, people say they still smell her perfume.
And it was funny because I was with my girlfriend. It was during the day, and you got all the tourists there, and we were like at the bottom, and they were announcing that they were going to shoot off the cannons. And I told my girlfriend, I go, "This is our opportunity to go in that hole, and no one will be there." So we probably had like a good 30 minutes in there, and you can't hear anything. You couldn't even hear the cannons outside. That's how like secluded it is.
I would have done the same thing. Like, yes, this is it. We can go. We can. What is your favorite piece of equipment to use on investigations?
My recorder. I have the Panasonic DR60 recorder.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the Japan version. How about that? It even has the Japanese writing on it. That's my favorite tool. I mean, can't tell you how many great EVPs I've gotten on that. A lot of people don't like them because they say, there's a lot of static and a lot of noise. And that is true. But every now and then you're going to get something that's a Class A. And it's been more often than my other recorders.
Mm.
I think people forget how good just a basic recorder could be in
Yeah.
investigation.
Exactly. Because the high-tech recorders like a Zoom or Tascam, it's built to eliminate all like the outside noise. It's trying to give you the best audio possible. And also the casing of those newer recorders are very thick, so it like shields out things. But with like the older recorders, the casing's very thin,
Mhm.
and it's going to pick up more noise and things like that. But like that's what you want, because if you're trying to get the perfect sound, you may not capture a good EVP because you're
Mm.
canceling it out.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's more sensitive, and it just rules. That's not what you want to hear, and this is what you want to hear. It just rules out everything else, and so
Right.
you don't hear everything that you should be hearing.
Right. It's like it's
Yeah,
almost like picking up at more frequencies,
yeah,
And if you that's ideal. You want more frequencies as possible.
yeah.
I do use the higher tech recorders as well. I like to use that for live listening.
Mm. Okay.
And
Have you ever?
I also like the older recorders, like not only the Panasonic DR60, but there's also a Sony recorder,
Mm-hmm.
and they both have voice activation. So like I'm the lazy paranormal investigator. I don't like to sit there for and hours listening to audio. I rather have it do voice activated, so it skips to all the quiet and gets to right to the audio that it
Mm.
picks up.
Yeah,
Try to make things easy.
yeah. Because you can't sit there for hours, and you can figure out what's this and what's that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Mm.
Have you ever had an experience that's maybe too intense for you so far?
Actually, most recently was usually I don't really get scared. Like if something happens, I run towards it. I want to see what's going on. It takes a lot, mostly like the people this is what scare me. But for an example, we were in Williamson, West Virginia, an old mining town. We investigated the old hospital in College Hill. It was actually featured on is it Destination Fear? Is that
Hmm.
a popular show? But we were it was just the three of us. We had the whole hospital to ourselves. And actually Mike was there. He was on your show. And we were actually filming an episode, which is now airing on the Haunted Files, streaming on ParaFlixx, so you can watch it and you can see exactly what happened. You'll see it on film. But we were actually down in the basement where they had the incinerator where they burnt the bodies. And also, I think it was like in the early 1900s, like maybe yellow fever or tuberculosis. A lot of people got sick, and that was like the children's ward. So it got really intense there. Just like the feeling, I was seeing shadow figures, I was hearing things. My one of my team members, Joe, he was there. He actually saw a figure of a face. So it got to the point where like I need to go outside and I need to get fresh air, but it was just like really intense. And
Mm.
at the end of our investigation, we always do like an isolation. So I faced my fears and I went down there by myself, but it was quieter back then. I mean, nothing really crazy happened. It was just that
Mm.
initial time. Maybe I startled the spirits. Maybe they didn't like that. I don't know.
I'm the same way. I think when something happens, I have to stay and see what it is, or if something else is gonna happen.
Yeah, because you're investigating because you want something to happen, right? Why are you going to run away from
Yeah,
it? Mr.
I've seen a lot of.
Field, fears.
I think we've all seen it happen a lot though, where paranormal investigators will say, "Make a sound" or "knock on something to make yourself known," and the spirit does it, and they immediately just leave the building.
They
No,
hightail
if
it
you
out.
were with me, if you guys are with me, we would all be doing high fives.
Yeah.
Do
We
it
yeah.
again, do it again. That'd be me.
Yeah, that's what we'd be doing because it's like, well, that's just totally rude. You ask it to make a noise or knock on something, make itself known. It does, and you
Right.
leave.
And then when we talk about me being skeptic, it's like when something does happen that blows my mind away,
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't register in my brain. I'm like, that did not happen. There's got to be an explanation for that. And then like the next day, I'm like, oh my gosh, I really did see that.
Mm.
Like my brain is trying to like make it logical. Like I don't know. That's how my brain works.
It's
Yeah, I think
interesting.
a lot of people are like that though,
Yeah.
It's trying to
which is
rationalize thing.
Yeah.
actually good because you're either going to jump to everything is paranormal or you're going to try and make it logical. Which is the make it logical is the
Mm-hmm.
best route to go, just because you don't want to say everything is paranormal.
Yeah. And you know, our team members and I, we're like pretty like we come down on each other. Like if we see something that's really good that we captured and someone debunked it, like we'll call them out. Like, but like we want that, you know? We
Yeah.
want it. You lose credibility if you show something that's not paranormal. And we want to be
That
credible.
that's why I love it when teams have one skeptic that no matter what happens will not believe
Mm.
it's paranormal because they will work the hardest to prove that it's not paranormal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you get mad. I'm like, God damn it, Mike. You debunked it. It was a bat. That's what
Hey.
scares me are bats. I always get like startled by them because I'm in the dark and I don't see them.
Mm.
No, that's true. Yeah, I've been to a place that had a bunch of bats, but they were still sleeping. Luckily, they didn't. It wasn't flying around as of yet. So
Well, actually, we had a couple bats floating around at that hospital. They were little, but what freaked me out was when I was at Waverly Hills. I saw two bats coming side by side, but it was in the dark, so I couldn't tell what it was. I thought it was a shadow figure.
Uh-huh.
And then I was like, I thought I shot a shadow figure, and I'm like, okay, my night's done. I saw what I wanted to see. I can go home now. But when I looked at the video, it was two bats like side by side, and they're like the wings were flapping, but in my
Mm-hmm.
eyes, it looked like it was like I don't know, like sort of like sputtering. But
Mm.
I was bummed.
Mm.
But it's always good to know the truth, right? That's what we want to know.
do you have any bucket list locations that you haven't been to yet?
Yeah, Japan. no,
I wish Japan was more on more people's bucket list.
Yeah.
actually, what I like is I like old ancient history, like going to any type of like ancient ruins, like Mayan, maybe in Asia, places like that.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
old temples here, so
Yeah.
that would be
That would
up your
be
Yeah.
alley.
fabulous for you.
I would
There.
definitely need a backup. I would need protection because I don't know the culture and I don't want
Well,
anything to like a jinn or something to attach to
I'll
me.
take you. I'll take you. But you got to do a lot of climbing stairs to
Oh
find
yes,
it.
here every shrine and temple, you have to do a lot of walking.
Yeah,
Good.
you have
I'll
to
whoop my
climb up a
ass into
lot of
shape.
stairs.
Yeah, it's always a lot of walking. The
Yeah.
I'll
biggest
start
one,
I'll start working the stairmaster before I come over. How about that?
you're gonna have to. Yeah, because
I'm gonna have buns of steel, Irene.
the
And you're gonna
biggest
need
one is in
different shoes
Kyoto.
because here our shoes are little bit wider, so you
Uh-huh.
can do a lot of walking because you will do a lot of walking. Like
You know, I
you
you know,
take
I
trains a lot, you hop on trains a lot, you walk up the staircase to go to the platform. So you do a lot of walking,
well,
and
you
you
know
get
what my
some
issue is?
what?
So the last ruin I went to was Chichen Itza in Mexico, and the
Mm-hmm.
problem that I had going up and down the steps is back then they had really small feet, and my feet are big. Like, how
Mm-hmm.
wide are those steps over there? Can
They're
they
not
handle
that
size
wide, aren't
12?
they? They're they're big this way, but not they're high this way.
Oh, okay.
Like my stairs in my house, they're pretty high.
Okay. I might pull an Achilles tendon or something.
I don't think you'll get that. I don't think you'll get that. No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'll be
We eat.
sucking wind though. I'm out of shape.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
biggest shrine here is the Fushimi Inari Shrine in Kyoto.
Mhm.
Head of Inari shrines in Japan, but to get to the top, it's a 20,000 foot hike.
Mhm.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's high.
Yeah,
And there's
it is.
signs. It's funny because there's signs that around there when you're going up, they keep saying, "Beware of the monkeys."
Oh wow. You know, the highest place that I went to was in Ecuador. I have family there, and I went to the highest active volcano called Cotopaxi, and
Mm-hmm.
they had just opened it because they had an eruption a few years ago. But I think that was like 10,000 feet, and we had a guide, and there was two ways to go up to the observatory tower, which was pretty high. It was like right where the glaciers were.
Mm-hmm.
There you can go straight up the east, which you may think it might be the easy way,
Mm-hmm.
or take the long winding way, and it's like not as steep. And you,
Mm.
so that's what we did. And he's like, you just take little steps, just take your time with it. And I'm looking down and looking at all the people that went the straight way,
Mm-hmm.
and half the people are laying on the ground trying to catch their breath. It was pretty funny.
Mm. Yeah.
It's funny
There's
you mentioned shadow figures before and how you're just like I. You may or may not see them, and I always tell people in the U.S. When you see a shadow figure, it's either in or out, or one of those things where you think you see peripheral vision, or you just happen to catch it on film. Here, it's almost the opposite, where they'll stand and stare at you.
yeah.
Oh, really? I want
They will
that.
they will stand and stare at you, but they don't want you to talk to them. They don't want you to take their picture. It's more of a, "This is
No.
my little area. I don't want to be on the
Mm-hmm.
other side."
They don't
'Cause
want a picture taken.
no,
No.
because they don't want to them, they're like, "Ew, people." That's
So
really
if you don't want to see one, just make sure you have a camera strapped on you because once they pop up, you just whip out the camera and they're gone, right?
Or you may not like what they do to you if you take a picture of them.
Yeah, I know there's some cultures like in Ecuador where
Mm-hmm.
the indigenous people there, they don't want you to take a picture because they think you're taking their soul with them. And probably
It's
those people, well, if you take a picture of me, I'm taking your soul.
yeah,
So,
but they get quite angry if you take a picture of them.
but it's good to know those things when you want to go there and investigate and you don't know the culture. That's why I mentioned that earlier.
They can be scary too, right, Amanda? You
yeah.
just have to you have to know where your place is because you're gonna be bottom of the food chain for them.
Oh yeah.
They're the top, you're the bottom, and you better respect me. If you don't respect me, you're gonna be sorry.
Yeah. Well, that's my number one rule. Whenever you go in an investigation, they were
Yeah.
living beings, and maybe
Hmm.
some aren't, but you always got to be respectful.
Yeah,
Number one rule.
because they can be scary and they can be nasty here, and something may unalive you if you're not really careful.
Right.
That's why we that's why Amanda and I were talking about when we meet up together we have to pick and choose where we're gonna go because if we don't do that it could be very dangerous even though we know what we're doing, even though we're like she's been in a lot of places, I've been in a lot of places, and we just know better, right? And there are places that you don't go, you just don't know. and
Right.
uh when we know that part too, so there's hundreds and hundreds of places to go here. There's hundreds and hundreds of haunted places to go here, like old and new and whatever. You just have to be
I have a
careful.
question, Irene.
Hmm.
What is there anything that you do when you go into these places, like for protection or something to protect yourself?
Well, I have my, let's put it this way, I have my stones and stuff like that, but it doesn't work in certain places because they don't give a hoot whether you're packing or
Right.
not.
Right.
So yeah, they can come after you. They can get angry or whatever. Like they're
Yeah.
just they can be kind of vicious. Um, if you there's one place that my might want to go back to is the Hiroshima atomic bomb dome.
Oh
My
wow.
husband was with me, right? And this was during the daytime. You can't get in there at nighttime.
Are
But
you
if you go,
sensitive?
yeah, I am. If you go in there, my husband got attacked by these ants on a tree. They didn't
I
like
could
him.
only imagine the emotion that goes through you when you go there, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, they'll cut. if they see that you have something that you have, let's say you have sore knees, they'll come after your knees.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, I had sore knees and I couldn't walk for so many hours, and I was in tears because they hurt so bad. But then after but I couldn't even walk back to the bus stop to take the bus back to the hotel. I couldn't even do that. It was so painful, and I knew they were attacking me. So it took me 4 hours to get back to the. It took us 4 or 5 hours to get back to the hotel, and then by then I was just drained. I couldn't even stand up. I was just
I
physically
bet.
exhausted. Like they took every emotion out of your body, and they just played with it.
Wow.
It's just something nasty. And the only person that I really got was an American spirit who got hit by the bomb. He was doing relief jobs. He was handing out blankets and food and water, and he died. That was right after the war. He died,
Oh
and he got
wow.
hit by the bomb, and he was so angry at his own country. Like he was saying all kinds of crazy stuff. Like he was swearing and cussing, and it's just, but you had to make him feel like it's okay. We're not going to blame you. War is war, and bad stuff happens during the war, and nobody wins, right? Everyone loses. And I had to tell him that, but he was so angry. And he said, and because he said, my children died, my wife died, my whole
Yeah,
family died.
I bet. I bet there's a lot of angry spirits there.
Oh, yeah.
Are you guys
That's
in Tokyo?
But she's in
I'm in
Tokyo. I'm
Tokyo.
in Nagasaki.
Oh, okay. You're in Nagasaki?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why the
I
spirits are
just
different.
like how that sounds, Nagasaki.
The spirits are different where she is. They're
Yeah. I
more
have I have more of
sadder.
the tragic ones.
Mm-hmm.
She has more of the suicidal ones.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And the
So
reason
yeah.
I think for that is so obviously Japan is mostly a Buddhist country.
Mm-hmm.
The
Right.
Buddhist has a belief that if you're not happy in this life,
Uh-huh.
you can take your own life and start again in the
Mm,
next life.
You
yeah.
can or
You can. It is
Yeah.
oh,
their belief.
interesting. Okay.
Um.
Well, so
But
far I like my life.
That's just their belief. I know a lot of people are like, "Well, it sounds like you're promoting." I'm like, "No, we're not. I'm just saying it's a Buddhist belief."
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
And
I can't. I was like, I only report on the facts. Okay, that's their belief.
yeah.
Well, I'm respectful to all beliefs, in some way
Yeah.
or another. They all have like their certain ties, like,
Mm-hmm.
connections.
Mm-hmm. And there's a shrine not too far away from. Well, it is far away. It's in the mountains, but there's one route that you can take, and it takes you to all the haunted spots. It's so
Uh-huh.
weird because they line up like on the highway,
Right.
and the final spot is the ocean, Japan seaside, where she lives, where there's the earthquake that happened there. So the shore got changed, and the older people who lived near the shoreline after the earthquake, they all passed away. They got taken by the waves, by the tsunami. So that's haunted. And then you got before that, it's the big Fuji Mountain, and you got
Mm.
the unalive forest, Aokihara Forest, and then if you come the other way, you get the Suicide Waterfall, and you go a
Mhm.
little bit closer, you get the mountains, the Nikko Shrine, where all the samurai warriors had a big fight. So you get their dead experience there because they're still fighting even to this day. Because I got wiped out by some of them because
I
they
don't know,
really came
Irene.
up.
You're like making this very enticing
Yeah,
for me to go over to Japan. I
and
think I'm gonna start
and then
packing my bags.
I couldn't even walk. I couldn't even go up the mountain where their tombstones were, because it was just overwhelming. And I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't walk up the mountain.
Wow.
It was that bad. It was that bad. I couldn't walk up this final part of the mountain on the staircases. I was getting sick. I was dizzy, and I was feeling like I said, I'm gonna feel like
Uh-huh.
I don't feel good. So I had to come back down and sit down. It was pouring rain, which is a great situation for them to come out, right? You got
Uh-huh.
this great haunted feeling, and the clouds were around because it's up the mountain, and it's really creepy. Ugh.
Do you guys investigate together?
No.
Not yet,
Oh, okay.
because where I'm in the very, very bottom, and on the
Mm-hmm,
left side of Japan.
mm-hmm.
She's more in the middle and the right side of Japan.
So
Yeah,
how long
I'm
would it
more the
take to
Pacific
drive?
Ocean. Like I'm near the Pacific Ocean. She's in Japan seaside.
Ah, got you.
Yeah, so we're at the opposite ends.
Right, right.
But
Meet up
yeah,
halfway.
Tokyo is really haunted too. You don't have
Everything is
Kyoto's not
haunted
this.
in Japan, though,
Well,
Eric.
how
Yeah,
far
everything's
does it
haunted
take
in
to
Japan.
drive from one side of the coast to the other side? You
You have to go under the ocean
have to do it
to
on the
do that.
ocean. You can't drive?
You can, but you have to go under the ocean because there's a big tunnel that they built where the cars can go under the ocean
Oh, okay.
to go
And how long
to
does it take?
3 days.
So for her to get to you, it'd be 3 days?
Yeah, by airplane it's about an hour and a half,
Right. Wow, that's crazy.
or by bullet train it's about what is it, 5 hours? I think.
By
Yeah.
train?
Yeah, by bullet train it's 5 hours.
Oh, okay. So
It's
there are no highways or roads that go directly.
it's an underground tunnel that you can drive from one end to the
Ah, I
other
got
end,
you.
but it takes 3 days to get there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you have to have good tires on your car to go there before you
How
go.
fast can you go through the tunnel?
Um, usually about second. ね、九州まで行くの、そのトナカ車がどのくらいスピードできる？九州行くの、
You know,
海の
my
さ、
dad was born in Indonesia.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
うん、
He's Dutch though. Back when it was the Dutch East Indies
うん、
during World War II, World War
Yeah.
Four.
うん、どのスピードは何くらい？
I'm getting a lesson here, Japan lesson.
That's
うん、
what we try to start the podcast. It's
うん。
not many people know about Japan, so we're like, let's do
Yeah,
that.
it's very interesting.
My husband's from Kyushu Island, where she is, and he says the speed limit is only about 50.
Oh, okay.
That's kilometers. Kilometers?
Uh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, so it's slow, right?
yeah,
Yeah. I was
because
gonna say
you
that's
have to be
kilometers,
careful.
You might
not.
go faster on your bicycle.
Yeah,
Horseback.
he said you can go by bicycle too.
Oh, okay. That'll get me in shape for all those steps I'm going to be climbing, right?
Yeah, yeah. Like if you ever
Uh-huh.
come and we go by airplane. It's cheaper. Like you can buy a
It is the
ticket for
cheapest
50
form of
bucks.
travel.
Well, you
You can
have to
buy a
make
ticket.
one promise. I need to get some really good. You got to take me to a place that's really good, authentic. Well, of course, it's going to be authentic. I mean, Japanese food.
Yeah,
That's everywhere.
yeah.
Yeah. When I first moved here, people used to send me photos of their Japanese food going to a Japanese restaurant. And I'm like,
Hmm.
you realize I could just leave my apartment, get the same thing for cheaper and the real thing. It's
Hmm.
gonna taste a lot better, right? That is
Hmm.
not what's gonna make me jealous.
Nope.
Send me
You know,
other
my
food.
dad. You know, my dad cooks Indonesian food.
Mm.
I'm like, send me pictures of other food. I can't get other food here.
Yeah.
Your Japanese food. I'm like,
The
not
closest I
interested.
ever got to Japan is I was actually born in Hawaii, and there's a lot of
Mm.
Japanese there.
Yeah. And there's a good food in Hawaii too.
Yeah, I was raised on poi.
Mm. Um. Yeah. I cook a lot of
That's why I was a
Japanese
big baby. My mom told me. So she fed me poi.
food.
I
And
think the
that's
biggest obstacle you're gonna have when you come to Japan, if you do any investigations, is because they're older spirits.
mm-hmm.
They
Hmm.
don't like the newer technology. Now you
Nope.
can say, "Oh, trust me, this is just gonna light up. It's not gonna hurt you," but they're
Mm-hmm.
gonna be like, "I don't trust you. I
I
don't
don't
Right,
know
want
you."
that. Like put that away.
Yeah, they're like, "I
right.
don't know you. You're trying to be like, trust me, bro, and I don't know you."
Then we're gonna have to go in low key.
Yeah, that's what's gonna probably get the best.
Yeah.
Just because, like I said, they don't like newer
You
technology.
know, to tell you the truth, is like now, like when I do investigating, because our team, we do ghost hunting events
Hmm.
at known historical haunted locations in South Florida.
Hmm.
So it's like an interactive event. So like lately, because we just finished spooky season, Halloween,
Hmm.
I think in October I did like 20 events. So
Mm.
like, and then also we're doing the filming for the haunted files. So for me to go investigate and just go hang out and not even having equipment, just investigate with my mind, you know, what I sense.
Hmm.
I really like that. It's,
There's one place that I want to get into is where I think 700 samurai soldiers unalive themselves in a tunnel in a big cave. They have it closed off, but there's a place where you can go around it, and there's an opening in the fence that you can get in there. It's not too far away from the
why is it
temple that I
haunted?
go to. Yeah.
What happened there?
Um, they got, in order to save face, they like, and yeah, that's what they did in the cave. So they killed themselves in the cave, and
Oh,
then
okay. Someone they committed suicide.
yeah, in the cave.
Oh, got you. Is that like
Yeah,
what's that forest? It's like a it's called Suicide Forest. I don't know if I have
yeah,
the right name.
Aokihara Forest.
Yeah.
It's this
Is
one's
it
a
the
newer
real
one.
deal? Is it, or do you think that it's overplayed?
It's not overplayed. Believe me,
No.
It's
you don't want to.
underplayed, if
No,
that.
it's underplayed. You don't want to go there.
Oh, really? That
But
bad?
but I do want to go there.
Uh-huh.
Just a different way of doing it.
Right, right.
I want to go there as respectful as I can. I don't want to go in there because once you go in there, you can't come out, or you have to be very careful because they can take you with them.
Right.
So here
I don't want to
it's
stay in Japan. I want to come back home.
yeah.
The
So you
suicidal
see,
spirits tend
yeah,
to want you to join them in their misery.
yeah,
Interesting.
it's it's just the way that it is. I mean, some
How many people committed suicide in that forest?
Oh, they're still finding bodies. I mean, these
yeah,
people
there's
still go there
yeah,
to
And
park.
why would someone, like, if I want to commit suicide, why would I want to go to a haunted forest where, like, I don't know, hundreds, thousands of people commit suicide before? Like, why would I want to go there?
because you don't
Like,
want to.
is it like a tradition, or
No,
they
you don't.
think
Your families,
it's like
you
a
don't
dark
want to.
area? I don't want to
Same for
die
your
in it.
families.
If
You
I'm
want
gonna
a
kill
safe
myself, I don't want
place.
to do it in a dark spot, someplace dark, and I don't know.
You
I
don't.
have a
You want.
theory. It calls out to once you get to that point. It calls out to you, kind of, because people can't explain it.
Yeah.
And there's people who think like their friend just went there to visit, but then they end up dead, and they just think maybe there was a possibility that they would have they would not have.
Yeah.
But
Uh-huh.
there's something about part of that forest that seems to kind of just I
They
don't know if it's
call
a
you.
vibration or something. It just kind of seems to
I
call.
get my name called out many times. Seriously, I'm not lying. I
Yeah.
have evidence of it. I have it through a recorder, spirit box. Like, I'm cute sometimes. Say my name, Eric.
We
It's
had
because
someone,
like
yeah, I
it's
knew someone who went to that forest, and they drove hours to go there because it was on their bucket list. Like we had to go, so they went. And he said, "I'm not sensitive or anything, so it's not that." But as soon as I stepped into the forest, I heard a low hum. No one else heard it, so I thought nothing. So he thought nothing of it.
like a vocal hum, or
No,
like
just like a
a
weird kind of like,
mechanical.
just, yeah,
It was.
mechanical hum.
It
But
goes
there's
in your
no, yeah,
in your
no one
head.
else heard it. So he thought, all right, maybe it's just me. No one else hears this. So they start walking into the forest. And he said 20 minutes in, he told everyone, we have to go back because the more he walked into the forest, the
Hmm.
Hmm.
louder and louder it became to the point where
Is
20
it
minutes
true
in,
that I thought I heard this somewhere that, like, when people see Bigfoot or have, or like there's been circumstances where there's like been like a strong humming or vibration noise, like mechanical?
Mm-hmm. And then if you take a picture, it's the same way as seeing spirits.
Uh huh.
They either lines go this way or the lines go this way because it's distortion, right?
Uh huh.
In the photograph, it's the same way as seeing spirits. You have the same distortion as
Right. One of
um
our guests caught a picture of an apparition in one of our events. It was wild. I was trying to debunk it. I don't know how she got that image.
mm, it's just strange. But you have to be careful when you go in a place with suicide victims because they will call out to you and they will tell you to die with them.
Yeah,
To
I've heard
then,
that. Yep.
yeah, that's what they do
especially here.
here. Uh, I got that several times and I had to ignore it, and it got so bad that it just, oh, like
I'm
you have
gonna
to
see
really.
if I can find you that picture.
Okay.
I don't know. It's really weird. My internet's been acting weird, but if I can find it.
Whew.
What time is it over there?
It
10
Are
is
you
o'clock.
getting
10:02.
hot, Irene? You told me you were
I,
freezing.
oh, I get, I'm hot now.
Carrie,
She drank
have you ever
coffee.
listened to Katy Perry? You're hot
Mm.
and you're cold. I
Yeah,
don't know. I
She's like, I
shouldn't
had
have
my
done
coffee. And she's
it's
still
not
drinking her
hot
coffee.
coffee. This is my second cup.
Now, I had this really cool picture of an apparition. Oh man, I was gonna see if I can show it to you guys.
Just a sec, I'll be right back.
Oh wait, I think I found it. No, I didn't find it. I got so many. This picture was like someone they were had a laser grid up, so like I got a lot of photos with laser grids. I'm just scrolling to see if I can find it. Nah, I can't find it.
Or it doesn't want to be seen. I get pictures
Irene,
like
what are
that.
you doing back there?
Me?
I'm just joking.
But what's interesting about that forest is when you walk in that forest, there's no birds, there's no
Oh,
snakes, there's no insects, there's nothing. So it's
yeah,
like dead
I heard
quiet.
that. That's weird.
It's dead quiet.
Yeah.
However, there is another part because obviously I get videos over here that the Japanese put out, and there is some that I've seen where people who live close to it say that they hike it almost daily, but not they say not the bad part that is obviously world known.
Mhm.
There is another part that is the exact opposite,
Yeah.
where it is the most serene place you have ever been.
And you've been in there?
I haven't, but I'm just going by like the videos of the locals. They even put out some of the videos like, yeah, over there, that's the bad part of the forest. That's the forest part of the forest you don't want to be in. Over here is part of the forest that a lot of people hike because it's just so peaceful. It's the
Mhm.
exact opposite. And they even showed walking and they're like, yeah, you go once you walk down this certain path, it comes to like a T. You don't want to go to the left because that leads you to what they call the bad part of the forest. You want
Mhm.
to stay to the right because that keeps you on the better part of the forest, the more peaceful part of the forest. So it is a very yin and yang kind of forest
Yeah.
Right.
where not all of it is. They say no, they've never seen any bodies there compared to you start going towards the left. There's part of them you might see them here and there, but then obviously you go in further, and they're
Uh-huh.
even obviously that's where you're gonna start seeing them.
Yeah. Isn't it that when you see certain parts, when you have at the hotel, seeing the mountain, isn't it that that they see spirits or could be haunted?
Say that
There has
again.
there has been ghost stories of people who they may not have visited because it's on because that forest at the very bottom of Mount Fuji.
Mm-hmm.
And there's been people who, even though they didn't go to Mount Fuji, they still got a hotel room that faced Mount Fuji, so they could still see it outside their window. And there's been stories from people that made them absolute believers because they saw a spirit on their balcony, and there would be times there's banging on the window, banging on the door, saying in Japanese, "Let me in, let me in." And they say, "Yeah, once you see a spirit yelling at you, pounding on the window, you kind of start to be a believer."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. That was me, by the way, saying hi. We're part of paranormal.
Okay. Yeah. It's one of those places. Even in Nagasaki, even if you stay at a hotel, a little ways away from the site, you could get spirits coming into your room at night. So
Yeah, because you
you
have history that dates back to how long?
know, I mean, for her area, you got spirits that were killed from the samurai era. You got spirits who were who did something, I don't know, who were Christians who died in the era. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of bloodshed during the samurai era that nobody wants to talk about that happened there. So her area is freaky haunted, like
Yeah, I bet.
because they crucified 20 25 to 30 Christians in that area on the mountain. Yeah, and it's creepy haunted too. So, they did so there's a lot of things that they don't talk about, right?
Right.
And you won't find it on Google. Nah, they won't talk about it. They don't tell you anything. So, yeah, that's how we are here. Like, if we want to find a certain place that we want to go to, we have to research it through means because it's not going to be on Google. It's not going to be on anything. You have to find a certain book in a certain library to
Right.
find it on history because, yeah, they just scrapped the whole thing.
Yeah.
If you want information on a certain property, it's not like you can go to Vital Records.
Yeah.
Vital Records doesn't exist here.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
So you kind of
So,
have to find like an older neighbor and hope they know and they're willing to tell you the story.
yeah.
That's the only way you're gonna know stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know what? The old stories have a lot of truth in them because they lived through it. They know about it,
Hmm.
and you really have to listen to them because some of it's really creepy and freaky, and it's really interesting too. For me, it's interesting. A lot of other people might find it freaky and creepy, but it is interesting how it happened.
Well, you know what? I found I can show you that apparition. I just found it.
Okay.
You want me to do a screen share?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a second here.
It's not just hotels where spirits
Yeah.
might visit you at night, obviously, because I've had a few times these shadow figures I've seen visit me in my apartment, and it's
Yeah.
one of those things where my dog will start barking at first, and then she'll run out of the room, and then I'll go see what she's barking at, and I walk out, and there's a shadow figure in there, and it's
Hmm.
basically it wasn't there too long. It's just in and out, but it's one of
Yeah.
those where it was something I saw before, and
Hmm.
it was like, yeah, this is your warning of don't piss me off because I can come into your home at any point. And I'm like, I wasn't going to. I know better. You said you
Want to see
don't
the
want to let me
video?
talk to you, take the
Yeah.
photo. I will leave you alone. I trust the fact that you will be here whenever you want to if I piss you off.
Yeah.
You You don't have
So
to warn me.
so I'm gonna show you this video. I'm not gonna say anything. Tell me what you think, okay?
Okay.
All right. All right, there it is. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
You see anything there that looks unusual? Is it playing? So you see that lady or that figure on the left with the white
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
face and the black?
Mm-hmm.
No one's supposed to be standing there. Only the lady on the right sitting down.
Just a second.
I'll zoom it in. Oh, that was the Walsh house.
Mm.
What time is it over there?
11.
AM?
Mm-hmm.
And now it's not working. Ah,
Just a second. It's messing with your equipment.
I know.
This
It's
is
come.
it
There it
tells
is.
Yeah, its energy. Its energies make me feel
Look,
uncomfortable.
see on the right? No one
Mhm.
was standing there. That's just like a French door that should be there, but it's blocked in with that figure. It looks like a lady.
Yeah.
And the person that's sitting down to the right of her was doing an Estes session.
Yes.
And when she saw the picture, she said that lady looked like her grandmother.
Mm. That's
So
interesting.
that's pretty wild, right?
Yeah. She is very strong.
So that was at a place, a museum called the Old Davy Schoolhouse Museum. They
Mm.
have a pioneer building. It's called the Walsh House, and that was taken in the Walsh House. It was a
Mm.
house that was moved from one location to where the museum is, and they restored it.
It seems like she's there to protect her from the outside forces that are there.
That's what you believe?
Yeah.
I think I
No,
agree.
that's what I see.
Yeah, I think I agree with you.
That's what I see. And that's where I
Hmm.
get the energy from her. Because she's not angry at anybody. She's just there like I'm gonna watch over you. I'm gonna protect you. I don't want anything bad happening to you. Um Whatever's there may be some negative energy around her. That's why she's worried about her safety. And
Yeah,
it
maybe she's like a guardian angel, right?
Yeah, it happens. It happens because some places can be bad. They have got good and bad. They got yin and yang, right? They got good and bad in every haunted place. So she's just worried about her safety. It seems like because there's something there that may be not so pleasant, but she has
Yeah,
some
I feel a
phobia.
not so
And you know
pleasant
what
energy
happened
because
in that house?
Mm-mm.
So this is what I think what stirred things up is it's a museum. So they had a lot of antiques in there. So what they're
Mm-hmm.
doing now is they moved them because they're painting and just touching things up. So they
Mm-hmm.
moved everything out of that room. That room was like a music room. It had like old record players, pianos,
Mm-hmm.
um, and like old school radios, like from the
Mm-hmm.
1940s.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows? I think something's attached to something there, to one of those
Mm-hmm.
pieces,
Mm-hmm.
and it could be more than one thing, you know?
And they
I don't-
get angry if you move them. They get angry if you move them out of the room. They get angry if you even try to touch a hair on that wall of theirs
Uh-huh.
or the floors. They get really pissed off. So you really have to be careful, right? Because they come out and they say, "What the hell are you doing to my house?" Right?
Right,
They'll come out.
right. Well, the
They'll
good
come out.
thing is the historical director, she's a believer because she's witnessed
Mhm.
it. She's very
Mhm.
respectful. So,
Mhm. Yeah.
and when we go in there, we're being respectful. We're saying we're here. This is a
Mhm.
museum.
Mhm.
People are learning about your life and home. And we come out of here for respect, things like
Mhm.
that. I mean, we don't
Yeah.
like, even if we have guests that like try not to be respectful,
Oh yeah.
usually they get an
They
exit
say
out of the house.
stupid things. Like like you notice that a place where you go to, the walls have ears, right? So they hear
Yeah,
everything that you, yeah, they hear everything, they feel everything. Yeah, they see everything.
yeah.
So
I got it on
I'm
my other
actually
screen here, and I'm looking at it. It's like blown up on my other screen, and she's like staring at me. I
yeah.
think I'm gonna I think I'm gonna X this out. I don't like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Because
She's
they can
gone.
see you, they can feel you. Yeah, they can also touch you through the
No, it
picture.
looked like I was looking at the corner of my eye and she's staring at me. I felt like she's like staring right through me.
Yeah, like they can see the right through
You
to
know
your
when you start
soul.
getting that sensation of goosebumps, like I'm not
Mm,
getting goosebumps, but I feel like they're coming, but it isn't
yeah,
coming, you know?
yeah. The hair in your arms start going up, and you go, "Ooh,
a
okay,
shiver down your
time to
Yeah.
be,
spine.
Can you see my beard?
time
They're
to be."
standing up, my whiskers.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
joking.
No, freaky places have that feeling. Do you ever get the feeling where we can just feel the air?
Oh
That it
yeah.
just
Hmm.
hangs on you. You can smell it too, like these certain scents that come out,
I
smells
think
that
I
come up.
suck all the energy out of haunted places. When we go there, you could feel it. It's heavy. And then
Mm-hmm.
by halfway till the end of the night, it's all gone.
Mm.
Actually, when we investigate, we have a good time, you know, where everyone
Mm-hmm.
has good personalities. We bring a good vibe.
Yeah.
We're good people. We're having fun.
Yeah.
I think they respect that. We're not trying to
Yeah.
like piss anybody off or they're
No.
being respectful. We just want their story. We want to talk to them. And if
Yeah.
they need help or we want to help them.
Yeah.
I never understood
It's
why people walk in and that's when the first
And
thing
if they
they
say
see.
get out, I won't get out. I'll stay.
I
That is
usually get the
something that
ones that
Sean
tell
Stewart
me
says
to
get
go.
out, and I'm like, let me see what happens if I don't.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Right. If you want me to get out, you got to do something convincing.
I
It
usually
hasn't
get the ones
happened
that tell
yet.
me to blank off. Like
Right.
I said, yeah, that's
Well,
not gonna
that's
work
why
for
my
me.
beard is slowly turning white because of all these investigations. It's like that's the effect it's having on me, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're not gonna tell me to blank off because
I'm
that's
gonna have
not.
to dye it, get some Just for Men and darken it up, maybe. I don't
Now I've
know.
talked to some
I'm
mediums
all
who
natural. Salt and pepper.
I have talked to some mediums who has cleansed houses, and they said that a lot of the houses they do, it's haunted not because of something inside the house per se or the land, but it's an object they bought from like Goodwill or a thrift store or
I've
something
seen
like
that
that.
before. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw someone that I know a friend of mine went to an antique store and bought like an old school like 1800s iron, you know, to iron your clothes, but
Mhm.
it's just iron. I guess they put it on coals or whatever and then iron
Mhm.
your clothes back in the day.
Mhm.
And she said ever since she bought that, like weird things started happening in her house that she couldn't explain to the like things were
Mhm.
like moving and stuff. So
Mhm.
she got rid of it and everything stopped.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why we don't have anything like that here. We don't have estate jewelry sales. We don't have old articles. The only thing that they sell is old as
I need a
gold.
samurai sword,
Oh
Irene.
no, those
No,
No?
no, it'll make your life hell.
Really?
Yeah,
well,
they're
especially
that
like the
bad.
older ones. I'm not sure, obviously,
What
with the
could I
new
use
one,
for protection?
not the new ones being made, but like
From
the older one.
Japan. What would be one thing that I could use from Japan for protection
Just sea
Well, I
salt.
could
that you
take you to
can't
a
get
temple.
here?
Just sea
Huh?
Temple.
salt.
A
The
temple.
temple?
Uh-huh.
But what could
A
I
sh-
take with me?
you
Like, you know,
don't
some
take anything with
people,
you. They'll give you something.
what could
You,
they give me? If I'm
amulet.
nice, if I'm very nice and
Amulet.
respectful.
Amulet.
Oh, okay.
I have one here.
Yeah.
Yes, I have an
Yeah.
amulet. You can buy there.
Uh-huh.
I think that's good. I have like protection beads.
They usually
Uh-huh.
look like these that you get from the temples here.
Uh-huh.
This one here is made for good protection, so evil
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
Maybe I can get it on Amazon.
No, you have to
No?
go to the temple to get it.
Because they have to be prayed by the priests there.
They
So
have to be blessed.
yeah, it has to be blessed. So that's why you can't just buy
Oh,
them.
that makes sense.
I mean, you probably
Yeah.
there are some, or I guess some temples.
It's almost has like it has to be personalized. Like you have to go there, or they have to bless it.
No,
It's
I mean,
just a blessing.
we can just randomly buy these there, but they don't usually sell these online because the priest there has to individually bless these.
Oh,
Yeah.
I got you. So when are you guys coming to the U.S.?
I might come year after. I might come.
Okay,
I got.
Come to Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and bring me one of those.
I got. You have to go there yourself and get it.
I
I
do.
got a sword. See?
So you can buy these. I mean, I've sent some of these to people back in the U.S. It's just
I like that
it's
sword.
tied. You it's tied like this, and in that little. They all have these knots on them. But there is
Very cool.
inside a prayer that the monks or the priests write out themselves for whatever it's used for.
Oh, I just had a light bulb flash above my head.
Oh wow.
We have a Japanese gardens here, and they have a temple, a Japanese temple, and it's called I think it's Morokai Gardens. That's where I'm gonna go. I bet they have that there.
Mm.
You think so?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So the amulets that they have a prayer that the priest writes out. He bless and he puts it in there and he folds it. You
Mhm.
cannot ever open up the amulet though because
Yeah.
it is their belief if you open it,
Mm.
Uh-huh.
it's gonna bring you bad luck.
Yeah.
What if you don't open it, but like say your roommate or somebody like finds it and opens it up? Is that bad?
They're gonna have bad luck. That's
They
Yeah.
are, but you won't.
so make sure. Yeah,
Mm.
Okay,
But
but
you
make
have to
sure
give
you
the
like
amulet
put it.
back. You
You
have
want
to
to put it
give.
in a safe place so no
Yeah.
one
yeah.
can get it.
You have to. You have to. You have to give the amulet back, and you have to buy a new one.
If someone opens it,
Yeah. You have to
oh,
give
because
it
it's like
back.
cursed, right? It's no
Yeah.
good anymore.
You have to give it
Yeah,
back. They burn it.
Like
They burn it.
ASAP.
yeah.
They
Well,
burn
Don't
it.
they
waste
do.
time.
Yeah.
There's other stuff they burn because if you think something is haunted in your home, obviously you can't just get rid of it. We don't even have. We actually do not have anyone here in Japan that would claim to be a demonologist who's going to come
No.
to your house and help you. Irene can tell you if
Yeah.
you feel like your house is haunted or you
They're
have.
like, you're the crazy fool messing with it. I'm not going to your house.
Yeah,
Well.
that's actually how they feel here. There is nothing. That's what I tell people. Like
You should have
demonologist
known
does
better.
not that does not exist here in Japan.
You knew about that. This was going to happen. Now, too bad, right?
Yeah. Well, I didn't know what was gonna happen. That was
Right.
before I came to. It came into my whatever you call it. I call it curse.
You got a
I
curse?
I hate it. I hate it. I hate what I can do. I hate what I can see. It's just ugh. Sometimes I wish I never had this gift. Like it's just
Do you ever see
yuck.
good things?
I see mostly dead people.
Right. But like, just because they're dead doesn't mean it's bad all the time, right?
um, I see mostly the horrible things that happen to
Like you
people.
were talking about, like the image I was showing you, that was the lady's grandmother, like a guardian
Yeah,
angel.
I see
Like
that
that's
too.
good, right?
Yeah, but a lot of stuff. Yeah, because you, I not only see them, I hear them, right? And
Right.
sometimes I don't want to hear certain things, so it's kind of like, no, I don't want to hear that. Like, nope, you go take a
Yeah.
number. Like,
You got to
mm.
learn how to shut it off.
Well, actually, I don't. You
You don't
can't.
want to?
You can't. You
Why
can't
not?
because I'm a vessel. Okay,
You're what?
I'm a vessel. I
Oh, okay.
and
Well, kick him off your ship.
it's easier
Make
said
him
than
walk the
done.
plank like the pirates.
It's easier said than done
I
because
know.
yeah,
But
you
it's
get
really all
this.
about positivity, right?
Yeah,
Trying to
you
stay
get the
positive.
suicide victims. You walk around any place. Tokyo's really haunted, right?
Yeah.
You're lucky you can find a place that you can live that's not haunted. I mean, yeah, the hotels you have to be careful. The certain places you have to be careful. That's why you need a medium when you go to a place to make sure that what you buy is safe. The land is not poisonous. It's just yeah, it's just really weird. um, if you go to certain places, you go to train stations, sometimes they can be haunted because they got a lot of people who try to jump in front of trains and unalive themselves. So you get that. You
Why do
get the
you think you
energy.
hear so much crazy suicide like that in like Japan? Like, I don't know, maybe that's my perception. Like, you got the haunted forest, people
Yeah,
jumping in front of trains.
yeah,
Like,
Unfortunately,
you
that's
don't
part of
hear
their
crazy stuff.
yeah.
suicide's
It's
part of their religion.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
So it's not just suicide, but there's
Oh,
also
that's what you were saying in the beginning. So if you
yeah,
yeah,
have a bad
because
life
like
and you kill yourself, you have a shot for having another life that will be much better.
yeah.
a lot of people
It's
I
try to
got
argue,
you.
how come why that's the thing? Why don't they try and get help? Blah blah blah. And I'm just like, look, it's just part of the religion. Don't argue with me on a religion. I'm not the one who changes it.
yeah.
Well, what if it's the real deal?
That's what I'm saying. Is I don't. It's just because you don't believe in that doesn't mean it's not. Like you said, how do we know what's real and what's not?
But what
If you
happens
don't believe,
if you do commit suicide? Or what if you don't have a good life? What if you thought you had a bad life, but it was really good, and then the next life you went into was a lot worse? Could that ever happen?
They don't think that.
No.
No, they don't think that. They don't think what if. It's just like I'm a
Well, not
pianist.
what if, like, could that happen or does that happen?
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
it depends on the person themselves how they were like in this life, right?
Okay. So, like, if I hate my life and I commit suicide and I want a better life, then I'm guaranteed that the next life will be a good life.
Hmm.
I don't know if they fully believe that, but it's just
No,
more of a
it's
do
just
over for
like
your next life,
yeah,
and you're gonna keep,
Right.
it's
I think, being reincarnated until you learn
yeah.
what you're supposed to.
Yeah. It blows my
Reincarnation is
mind away.
reincarnation is a big thing in this country. Um, yeah, it's just one of those things that they believe in 100% in
They also,
reincarnation.
I mean, it also goes with the whole karma thing. Is even if karma doesn't catch up with you this life, it may next life. That's why they always say, be careful how you treat people
Mm-hmm.
because you never know. Something may not happen this life, but the next life
Hmm.
it may be that way. And they say the best example they can come up with is, let's say you're a horrible boss. You treat this one worker like shit for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
In the next life, it might be the exact opposite.
Or you come back as as a steer and you get slaughtered and be eaten.
Now, why can't I have that boss that I hated when he comes back on his reincarnated life? Why did I get dealt the card with the bad boss? Why couldn't I have gotten the good boss? I'm a good
That's
person, so I should be having good karma.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know.
what I say. Be careful how you treat people this life because you don't know how in your next
yeah,
life what's gonna happen.
yeah,
Yeah. That's why I try to be positive.
yeah,
Which is an interesting way to think.
yeah.
Yeah. Maybe my past life, I was a miserable person, right?
I don't think so. I don't think
No?
so. I don't think so.
You think my past lives have always been good?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Interesting. And my next life will be good?
Yes.
Irene, we're best friends now.
I don't say that just because I say that. I don't say that.
No, no, that's why I'm asking you.
Yeah, I don't say that just because I can say that. Oh, do you have a grandma who passed away?
Do I have what?
A grandmother that passed away?
I do. I don't have any
Yeah,
grandmothers anymore. Both of them passed
she's
away.
yeah, she's in my ear now. She's
Oh
talking to
yeah.
me like when they start talking, they don't stop. You know that? She just keep on talking. She goes, "Yeah,
my
that's
my
my grandson. He's a wonderful person. I love him so much. I miss him so much." Oh, yeah. Okay, that's I get ya. Yeah, they come back.
well, my mom recently passed away, and right before, like, my grandmother passed away, and then the year
Mm-hmm.
after my mom passed away. And then on my dad's side, his mom actually, she passed away at a young age, actually in Indonesia back during World War
Mm-hmm.
II. They were part. They were my dad's Dutch, so they were part of the Dutch army, and they were put
Mm-hmm.
into prison camps. And unfortunately,
Mm.
his parents passed away in those camps.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay. I don't want to see that.
Okay, no. We'll talk about the good things.
I hate that when they take me to a place and you have to see
I
something
know.
horrible.
See,
Yeah.
Irene, I'm learning about you now.
Yeah.
So, can
Don't
you
go
think of the
there.
place where I was born? That would change everything.
Okay. Don't want to go there. Please don't go there.
No, I want to take you to a new place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, I was born on the island of Oahu in Hawaii,
Yeah.
right across the Pacific from you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's only 7 hours away by train, by plane.
By train? How
No,
can we
by
get to
plane,
Hawaii by
by
train,
plane, by
Irene?
plane, by plane. Okay, by plane. 7 hours away by plane. It's not
I'm
that
sure
flight.
they're trying to create that though, where that you can take it by train.
Yeah, Japan's gonna be first on land to
No,
dig a
Japan is in my
tunnel under the
bucket
ocean
list.
because they've been doing that. They've been doing that quite a lot. They've been digging tunnels under
By
the
the
ocean
way, I'm a
to go
licensed
everywhere.
pilot. I haven't practiced it in a while, but I am a licensed pilot.
Yeah,
Ooh,
you can rent
interesting.
a plane and fly
Yeah.
over.
Yeah. Or if something, God forbid, something happens to the pilot, I'm the next best choice, which might be scary.
Yeah.
But I'll remember everything.
Okay.
Got a good memory.
Okay, that's good. Um. Yeah. It's you know walking outside. You have to be vigilant because some of the stuff here can be. They'll say, "I don't like you." Not the people, just the spirits can say, "I don't like you."
Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna create havoc on you, and you don't like you just stick up your behind, right? And then you go, "Yeah, right." Like, yeah, right. Tell me another story, okay? I've heard that before. Like you have to be kind of like that because th- uh, you just have to go out the front door. Everything's haunted, right?
Right.
So you don't need to buy tickets to go anywhere. You just go, okay, that's haunted, that's haunted, that's haunted, that's haunted, that's haunted. Oh, and that station's haunted too. Like, yeah.
You're
It's
amazing. I like you, Irene.
it's crazy, you know. Um,
You too,
yeah.
Amanda.
Thank you.
we're just. You gotta be kind of weird,
Oh,
cause
all of us are weird.
yeah. I
I
mean,
hunt
We
ghosts,
were talking
Irene.
about that once
It's not
where if
normal.
you're flipping through videos and you hear
hmm
someone say, "Hello, weirdos," you know it's someone in a paranormal community addressing you in a paranormal community. We're not even offended. We hear, "Hello, weirdo." Hi.
we say hi. Hey, how
And we're
you
just like, all
So
right,
doing?
you
listen to
either
this.
gotta tell.
So listen to this. When my kids were younger, they
hmm
were embarrassed of me. Like I wasn't
Mm,
allowed to talk about ghost hunting, paranormal
mm,
around family, their friends. Um, it was the perfect way for me to keep my daughter's boyfriends away from the house.
mm.
So they would say the boyfriend's coming over, and I'm like, oh really? Can I?
Yeah,
I'm going to
don't
show
talk
him all
about
my
this.
parent. I'm going to show my YouTube videos. I'm going to show him all my paranormal equipment, what I caught, this and that. I think he'll really like that. Guess what? He never showed up.
So you want
uh,
to add to that? So I've
yeah.
seen, and I think this is hilarious. So I'm gonna end up doing this. But there is a, I don't know if you heard of this. The religion over there, Pastafarian.
hmm Yeah, man.
The flying,
Jamaican.
the flying spaghetti monster.
Oh no, I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, they're called
It's
Pastafarians. It's an
it
actual
sounds like
religion.
that Rastafarian was smoking a lot of marijuana.
Well, supposedly it was founded by pirates. It's on my bucket list to actually go to a sermon at one of the Pastafarian churches. There is one I know in Arizona. I've heard about it. That's actually how I heard about this religion. Is the flying
Mm.
spaghetti monster. It's hilarious because some of their church members, or I don't even know what it's called there for them.
They could have that right here where I live.
Yeah,
Mm.
I would look into that because I want to go to a sermon because I have to know what it's like, what they preach.
I got an interesting fact about myself. I used to be in banking. I used to work for Citibank,
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and one of my clients was I managed the Bob Marley, the singer,
Mm-hmm.
Jamaican singer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I managed his business account and his family's account. So I knew Rohan Marley. I managed the Marley Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew all of them. I got to meet Rohan, Ziggy Marley. I even got to meet Lauryn Hill.
Mm.
It was pretty cool, but very cool, down to earth people. Amazing.
Mm.
I don't know how we got into the Rastafarian. We're talking about Bob Marley. I don't know what we're talking about now.
But you can actually become an ordained minister by flying spaghetti monster. And I was like, I want to do this so bad just so I can tell people I'm an ordained minister by the flying spaghetti monster.
There you go.
Because if the paranormal doesn't get to them, if you tell them I'm also ordained by the flying spaghetti monster, that probably will. But it's
Well,
hilarious.
I had a lady tell me that she was reptilian from the planet. I can't even remember the name,
Mm.
and she spoke it too, and she spoke it right
Ooh.
to me. And when you pissed her off, she would curse in reptilian.
Ooh. If you like UFOs, you'll see a lot of places here, a lot of temples
I
that look
bet.
like ship pyramids. They
Yeah.
you don't know, like the place that I go to for when I get cleansed, because I have to go every year to get cleansed, because I do a lot of weird I do a lot of residentials and stuff like that by myself,
Oh
right?
wow. I need you to come
So
here and help me.
yeah, I'll help you. I
That's
can
what
do
we, Irene. That's
I
what we do. We're an investigative team. We help people who have
yeah,
things going in their business or homes. Non for profit. We don't
um
charge a dime.
yeah,
Good, because I hate it when people charge money for that. I'm like,
I
why?
hate that. I don't charge anything. I don't say anything like that. There's I do usually do by messenger, or somebody calls me, and like what we're now doing, and I do FaceTime, and I help them that way too.
Oh
I don't have
wow.
to go there. I don't have to go there. I just have to go through and I said, okay, you got that there, and we got to get rid of that and that and that. Okay, let's do it. The longest I've been on one investigation was 6 hours. And I'll say,
Oh
okay,
wow.
I'm
Yeah. Well,
done.
a lot of our times we have residentials. It's not just one trip. We keep
No,
going.
you
They'll
can,
call
yeah,
us a year later.
I've
We
been
never leave our
twice.
clients. We're always there
No,
for them.
no. You always do follow up every time you do something. I've been to one place where my friend called me and he said, I need your help. I said, okay, call me such and such a time. He goes, okay, I'll call you. And he called me and we did it once. It was good. The dogs quit barking outside. And he called me again. Hey, you gotta come. Yeah, we gotta do follow up. You gotta do this one here. You gotta do it again. I said okay. And then what I found out was there was a couple guys who lived on the land. They killed each other. No, they killed another guy. He was murdered on the land, and he was really nasty. And then I found out that it was a Native American land, and there were some bad people who lived on the land too, and so they did a lot of bad
Don't
things.
go there, Irene. I can see you
Oh
like trying to
no,
picture it. Don't do it.
I did it.
No,
We found
don't.
a we found a skinwalker. My friend took a
Yeah.
picture of it. Yeah, and it was, and I got rid of him.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Who knows what's attached to me? I don't know.
nah. I don't feel anything attached to you. I
I
s-
feel fine.
yeah, your mother's there with you, your grandmother's there with you. You got a whole
It's
house
so
of
interesting that you say that because you're not the only one who's told me that before. They like several people told me that like that are psychic. They see like a white light around me.
mm, yeah.
Yeah, I see it. It's more looking
It's
at
more of a
you. It's over your.
aura.
It looks almost like you're over your right shoulder.
Yeah,
Would probably be your left.
here and here. You got auras next to you,
Right.
and they're there. They're there. They're
That.
Yeah, they're like uh, a halo, kind of like protecting you.
Oh, this thing right here. I have it blurred, but that's the light switch. It's like the reflection.
Yeah,
But I don't
but
know. Maybe
no,
you're seeing something I'm not seeing.
yeah, it's not that. It's something else.
But they're protection orbs,
Yeah, it's just it's not an orb. It's just
energy.
mm, yeah,
Good karma's around me, right?
Yeah.
yep.
You
And
guys are
you
going to
will
be my
forget.
go-to ladies if anything happens to me.
Yeah,
I'm going
and
to have to
if
go
How she
overseas. I'm going
knows
to have to
your
take it
next
to
life's gonna be
Japan.
good.
yeah,
Huh?
yeah, I if you come here, you get freaked out.
Uh-huh.
We'll freak you
Nah,
out
I
really
like getting
fast.
freaked out.
We'll freak you out really fast.
My bright karma will scare them away.
Yeah. we gotta take
The light's going to remove the darkness.
we gotta take you to the suicide waterfall. You're gonna love that place.
Yeah, I bet. I
Yeah.
love waterfalls.
Nah, not this one.
Well, especially as an American, it'd be different for us
Yeah,
energy wise.
yeah.
Because the reason why it's the suicide waterfall is when Japan lost the war, in their minds, it was America's now going to come over to Japan and take over their way of life. They
Hmm.
did
Right,
not want the American way of life at all. So
right,
that was like the worst case scenario for them.
right. Like they were going to be invaded by Americans and everything was going to change.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what they
Just
assumed.
like in the 80s, we used to think like, oh, Russia's going to invade us and things are going to change.
So
But maybe a lot worse.
they jumped off the cliff in the
Wow.
waterfall and they killed themselves. And it's like
But they
hundreds
got a
of
better life now, right? So that's a good thing.
and now they hunt the waterfall.
Oh, but that can't, but if they committed suicide, then they didn't get a good life. They're stuck.
They're stuck. Yeah, they're really
Yeah.
stuck. And you don't
Can
want to
you help them
touch them.
cross?
You don't want to touch them. You don't you could talk to them, but you don't want to do anything other than talk to them. You could
Right.
talk
You
to
want to
them,
keep a
but that's
distance.
yeah. And like it's just certain suicide victims
Well,
you just don't want to
Irene,
talk.
if I come over there and we go somewhere, you have to come because you're going to be my human REM pod.
Okay.
Mhm. You're
Okay.
going to be my
Mm,
alarm. So when I know
okay, no
not to go
problem.
somewhere, I do a 180 and turn around.
No, you won't. You'll say, "Oh, that's
Probably not.
cool." You won't. I'll say that's cool. Yeah, I've been to a couple places with my friends and my paranormal friends. We went to the Suicide Waterfall. It was
You never met a
really,
paranormal friend like me, though.
yeah, it was really fun. It was really interesting. It was cool. Um, it was kind of like it was raining. It was kind of like raining in the mountains. So you saw more than you bargained for, right? Like you can't see with the naked eye. You really can't see too much.
Right.
But if you take a still picture, man, you could see faces all over the place.
You know what we did? We went over an hour. I didn't just
Oh,
realized
okay.
it.
Yeah, it's okay.
See, I can't stop talking to you guys. What's going on
Yeah, you
Yes,
here?
sir, that's
see,
what
You're
happened.
gonna have to bring
that's
me
what happens.
back.
Like
Oh, we will.
there's
I'll
so
definitely
many,
have to reach out and schedule a
there's so
part
We're gonna
many.
have to
2.
do a part two
Yeah, we'll have to
We
do
always
part
say
two
for
that. They're like, we'll have
sure.
to schedule part 2, part 3, part 4, maybe part
Yep.
20. We'll see how it
You
goes.
know what? You know what we could do?
Mm-mm.
So we'll do another when we do another one, we'll
Hmm.
talk about my most recent investigation and then maybe you can pick up on it.
Okay, that'd be great.
That'd be fun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it won't be a dark place. It's gonna be a happy place, okay? So I'm not gonna take you there, Irene.
Doesn't mean we won't take you
Only
to dark
happy
places, though.
thoughts.
Especially in Japan.
Yeah, but I love talking to you guys and learning about
Yeah.
Japan, and I can't wait to come
Yeah.
back and learn some more.
Like, good.
Yeah. And get an airplane ticket and come.
That's my girlfriend right there.
Okay. Come with your girlfriend. We'll have fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll cook you a meal and we'll have a
No,
lot of
my girl.
fun.
I'm gonna say this, but my girlfriend hears it. Irene, if I could jump through this virtual camera, I'd give you a big old hug.
Yeah, that'll be great.
You too, Amanda.
Yeah. We could go
Virtual
visit
hug.
Amanda.
Virtual hugs, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be great. We'll have a lot of fun.
She said she'd love to come to Japan too.
She
Hopefully
said
you know
All
how
right,
to
we're
to
eat with
come.
packing our
chopsticks.
bags.
Yeah.
Hopefully you know how
There
to
you
eat with
go.
chopsticks.
Well, actually, pack one bag and one empty suitcase. Because you're going to want to buy.
I'm not going to bring any equipment though, so I don't want to stir any shit up.
I don't think
Yeah.
it would.
No, but Irene told me she don't like the spirits don't like all
Oh yeah,
the
that's what I was
fancy
saying. Is they
gadgets
don't
and
like the
stuff.
equipment. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it would be necessary for the equipment here. So yeah,
No,
because
No.
we're going to go in
they're gonna look
stealth
at it.
mode, Irene.
A K2 meter, you could bring that.
Nah, I don't like K2 meters. Too sensitive.
Mm. Yeah.
I already got
point you there.
sensitive feelings, so we don't need
I'll
that.
just say, I'll just bring you and point you there. Take a picture
There you go. No, Irene, you're going to be the human REM pod. That's all I need. All I need. For real.
Yeah, I said, ooh, that creepy. Yeah, there's all the creepy things there.
But
Well,
thank you
thank you so
guys.
much for
Yeah,
joining us
thank you.
today.
Yeah,
I
we
had
had
so
fun.
much fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we appreciate it.
For real. We're
We'll
going
have
to do
more
that
fun.
24-hour marathon, okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll have more fun.
Yeah. And everyone else out there, thank you so much for listening. We'll see you
Yeah.
next time. Bye for now.
Bye.
Good night.